So, most of us have faced times when it feels like life is falling apart, when our sense of security is stripped away from us and we realize we're at the mercy of an uncontrollable fate. That which you believed was secure falls apart, whether that's a relationship, home, finances, career, identity, or other situation, and it feels like there's nothing that you can do about it. So here's a few perspectives that might be helpful. Consider this situation. A woman is being chased by a lion. She arrives at a riverbank, so she wades in, hoping that the lion won't follow her into the water. But on the other side of the bank are a row of hungry crocodiles sunning themselves. And the crocodiles start to notice her and slither into the water. She decides to return to shore, but the lion is wading into the river now towards her. So she moves forward with the flow of the river. But the water seems full of piranha fish that are swimming all around her. What can she possibly do to get out of this situation? What is the best course of action when there seems no way out? When life falls apart, it's good to remember that there's one constant, which is change. Now, of course, this is a wisdom story about the state of life that many of us find ourselves in from time to time, a state in which there doesn't seem to be a way out. Of course, at times life can be very difficult and painful, and sometimes we're running from our problems only to run into more problems. But like night turns into day, have you noticed that bad fortune turns into good fortune and a curse turns into a blessing? So could it be that eventually life doesn't fall apart, but into place? What should we do when life falls apart? When we're in a miserable situation and there's no way out? The first thing to consider is that it's not the circumstances that make us miserable, but the way we perceive those circumstances. So even though the woman is caught between three types of predators in her external circumstances, it's her perception that decides her mood. Now, most people, when they're in pain, they suffer. When they experience pleasure, they're joyful. When their reputation goes down the drain, they become depressed. And when they're recognized and loved, they're ecstatic. The problem with this way of life is the slavish relationship with the environment that goes with it, because external things decide our mood, while these same external things are not up to us. So when our happiness depends on what happens externally, we're in a very unreliable and vulnerable position. Now, an average person would probably be frightened by the situation, but this woman has learned to calmly observe the situation. She looked around and saw a beautiful parrot sitting in a branch that hung over the river with its multicolored plumes. She smiled in appreciation at the beautiful bird. Now, in the face of misery, finding such joy can be considered mutiny against the system, because even when the most terrible circumstances won't stop her from enjoying what the present moment has to offer, she has claimed true freedom from a reality designed to enslave most of its subjects, those whose lives are based on suffering because of its whims. Albert Camus said that the only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that our very existence is an act of rebellion. The woman in the river knew that she shouldn't panic or react, as the situation she's in is expected. Unpleasant or even life-threatening events are an unavoidable part of life. So the best thing she could do is find joy in her darkest hour, something that lies within her field of control. But there was something else that made her decide to stay calm and appreciative. She had learned the truth about existence, which she reminded herself of when life goes well and also when life falls apart. That change will occur over and over again. It's certain. But when we're finding ourselves in tough situations and there seems no escape, it's important to remember that things always change. Life is unpredictable. One moment life brings delight, the next it brings agony. So the phrase, "this too shall pass," is good to emblazon into your memory. It reminds you that every day is transient. So when times were good, be prepared for bad times, and when times are bad, be aware that even though these times may seem permanent and inescapable, they too shall pass. However, this philosophy is often underestimated because we can't foresee the future. When we're stuck in our perception of the current situation, it's difficult to conceive how the future may play out, as there are so many variables and so many possibilities. People in despair often believe that their misery is never ending and the light at the end of the tunnel will never present itself. They're stuck in what's happening at a particular moment without taking into consideration that change is occurring in the background. This means that this reality we base our future on is ever shifting in unimaginable ways. Thus, what we perceive as our life falling apart may actually be our life falling into place, often in ways we don't expect. If you think about past stuck situations, didn't the future often play out much differently than you had previously expected? This happened to the woman in the river whose fate seemed to be sealed, but was caught by surprise when the parrot's whole family of 10 birds flew onto the branch in hopes of also receiving the admiration of the woman. This caused the branch to weigh down so low she could grasp it and hoist herself up. She did this just as the lion, the fish, and the crocodiles were upon her. That left the lion and the crocodile face to face, and they fought each other to the death. And so the woman was able to climb along the branch to the shore and survive. Therefore, no matter how miserable things seem at the moment, the solution may be at your doorstep if you heighten your frequency by focusing on what you can appreciate, what you love, on gratitude. Of course, this seems counterintuitive, but try it now in the face of something on the horizon you're worried about, because that's when the wind changes to your advantage. So, has your life ever fallen into place right after it fell apart? Think back to at least one time to reassure yourself that it can happen again. Because as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. Sometimes there's just nothing we can do about the circumstances we're in, no matter how painful, which was the case with this woman in the river, but we can choose the position we take towards these circumstances. Pain is certain, suffering is optional. So do we give unpleasant circumstances the power to make us miserable, or do we enjoy something beautiful on our horizon instead? So let's apply this philosophy to the transition of the entire planet and humanity with it. There's an ancient Gnostic theory that the planets and stars are like sentient beings going through a maturation and evolution, just like we are, and humanity, or the individuals and sentient beings living on the planet, are like her cells, the cells in her body. So there's signs the planet and us are going through a massive awakening, moving from one state to another, growing up, ascending, maturing, evolving, and that it's been speeding up over the last, say, 200 years. And if you look back in history over the last 200 years, there have been massive changes. That is, if you are to believe what the history books or Wikipedia pages tell us. Supposedly, there were 1 billion people on the entire planet 200 years ago, and there are 8 billion now. And if we go back 1,000 years to the year 1000 AD, it was only 500 million on the entire globe. So over an 800-year period, it went from 500 million to 1 billion, and then in only 200 years, it went from 1 billion to 8 billion. What gives? How they know what the population was on the entire planet in the year 1000 AD, I'm not sure, since there wasn't supposedly global communication or anything reliable to record such things. And purportedly all our modern conveniences just exploded out of nowhere in the last 200 years, growing exponentially. Of course, some say that they were there before, taken away and reintroduced, but that's another story for another time. This planet has several names according to various mystics, seers, historians, and wisdom keepers. There is the idea that the name Earth is actually a name applied to a dumbed down version of the actual planet in 3D, whose true name is Eartha with an A. So Earth is like Eartha in safe mode with limited functionality. You know, like when you put your computer in safe mode because it won't boot up properly? So Earth is where the humans are trapped in an inverted reality to learn certain lessons. From another perspective, Eartha is the name of the planet in her childhood and teen years while in 1D, 2D, and 3D. And it's like lately she's been in an inverted third dimensional, say, teen rebellion. But the good news is that she is about to graduate or grow into an adult version known as Tara, while she moves through 4D, 5D, and 6D. This is like her young adult years. Then she graduates to become Gaia and goes through 7D, 8D, and 9D. This is like her middle adult years. And then she becomes Aramatina while going through 10D, 11D, and 12D. This is like her older adult years. So if you've ever raised a teen or remember your own teen years, you may know this rebellious period where breaking free from the childhood ways, agreements, relationships is important for maturity. And the recent eclipse can be seen as a sign that Eartha is letting go of old fears, rebellions, rebellious explorations that she's now outgrowing and returning to an evolving, ascending timeline. She's had her period of inversion and she's ready to rejoin her galactic family. So we can either go with her on the ascending timeline or depart for another 3D planet or on a static or descending timeline. So if we look back to, say, 200 years ago as the beginning of her turn from inverted to evolving status, we could liken it to a sunrise. Back then the light just started to show on the horizon. Now the sun has almost emerged over the horizon and is shedding light on all the darkness, making it easier to see. Soon it will be high in the sky and we'll be back to the Golden Age timeline, or 1,000 years of peace as has been foretold. So it's a strange time to be alive if you're on the ascending timeline, because you tend to have one foot on the descending timeline while also another on the ascending timeline. It's not for the faint of heart. You may have noticed a series of multiple intense situations have been presented to the population over the last few years. People have been forced to choose which timeline they're going to go on. The April 8th, 2024 eclipse, although it was billed as the moon blocking light from the sun for a few minutes, many also saw the moon in another part of the sky. So what the heck is that about? Some say it was the inverted black sun that's always been around during the entire age of the planet's inversion, but only viewable during, say, an eclipse. It could be seen as yet another choice point, dark or light. Some souls want to continue in the dark timeline, staying in the lower densities. Some want to move into the higher densities. It's just one of those times in human history where if you want to ascend, you need to be tested, though, to see if you're worthy. So life has brought many situations putting people between a rock and a hard place, like the woman in the river. It's where all choices seem bad, so we must look up, raise our frequency to see another option that carries us out of the predicament altogether, letting the predators devour each other, and we move onward and upward.